Okay, so you've probably seen the whispers online, right? This idea of an ancient text, a really cryptic verse, and this huge prediction that the reign of Britain's new king could end in a way nobody, and I mean nobody, sees coming. So yeah, let's get right into it. It's a massive question, and it has absolutely taken over parts of the internet, blending this old-school medieval history with some very modern speculation. But here's the thing. Is there anything to it? Or is this just a myth perfectly crafted for our times? We're going to break it all down.
So this whole thing, it really centers on one person, King Charles III. Pretty much since the moment he took the throne, this one specific rumor just went viral. The idea is that his fate wasn't just predicted, but that it was basically written in stone centuries and centuries ago.
And this is really the heart of it all. The claim is that a king is going to face some major unhappiness from the public, and then a surprising successor could just take the throne. It's a modern take on an old text, but wow, it seems to lay out this super dramatic, totally unexpected future for the monarchy. I mean, it sounds so specific, it's kind of chilling, right? So where on earth does a prediction like this even come from?
Well, the source is a name you've almost certainly heard before. The one and only Nostradamus. Yep, that famous medieval seer. For literally hundreds of years, his writings have been fascinating people, totally baffling them and sparking just endless debate.
So here's the thing about Nostradamus. He didn't just write out clear, easy-to-read predictions. Not at all. He wrote in these short 4-line poems. They're called quatrains, and they are famous for being super symbolic, completely vague on purpose, and just totally open to whatever interpretation you want to give them.
And that right there, that's the key. For centuries, people have taken these exact same poems and basically made them fit whatever major event just happened. Wars, revolutions, you name it. It's this long-standing tradition of looking back and finding patterns in his super cryptic words. So that leads to the big question. How in the world did one of these quatrains get attached to King Charles?
All right, let's actually decode this thing. Let's see exactly how people today are connecting the dots between a text from the 1500s and the 21st century British monarchy.
Okay, so here's how they build the case. Step 1. They claim to identify a future king as Charles in the text. Step 2. They connect that to him facing major public dissatisfaction. Step 3. They suggest the monarch might just step aside, totally unexpectedly. And finally, step 4, a surprising successor takes the throne. You can see how it's a chain of events, but each link is, well, it's pretty speculative to say the least.
Okay, so we've heard the juicy, sensational claim, but now it's time for a reality check. Let's bring in what the historians and the academics have to say and see if any of this holds up to, actual scrutiny. And this just lays it out so clearly. On one hand, you've got the prophetic claim, a super specific prediction about King Charles III. But then you look at the historical reality. His writings are so vague and symbolic. I mean, the exact same poems have been linked to tons of different events over the centuries. It's kind of like a historical Rorschach test. So, what's the bottom line here? The connection is pure speculation. That's the firm consensus among historians. There's just no credible evidence for it. The links we're saying, they're being made by modern writers, not by Nostradamus himself, which of course raises a really interesting question. If it's not real, why is it so incredibly popular?
That's a great question. So, let's dig into that now. What are the powerful ingredients that can take an ancient text and turn it into a massive viral story today? It's almost like there's a recipe for a viral myth, right? Your first ingredient, a real, globally famous person, like a king. Then you mix in a vague, mysterious prediction from way back in the day. And for the final touch, you sprinkle in some modern political drama and speculation. You put all that together, and wow, you've got an incredibly potent, shareable story. And you can see exactly how this works in the real world when you look at the timeline. In September 2022, when Queen Elizabeth II passed away, online searches for these prophecies just skyrocketed. Then again in May 2023 during King Charles's coronation, boom, another huge spike. These major real-world events act like fuel for the fire, getting people to look for answers in these old, cryptic texts.
At the end of the day, this all taps into something very, very human. We just want to find patterns in the chaos. And especially during times of huge change, like the end of one monarch's long reign and the start of a new one, we're all looking for meaning, for some kind of order. Prophecies, even if they aren't real, offer up a simple story that helps us make sense of a really complex and unpredictable world. So the final takeaway here is pretty clear. In reality, there is absolutely no credible evidence that any prophecy about Charles ending the monarchy is real or accurate. As fascinating as the whole story is, the connection is a modern invention. There's just no factual basis to it. Period. Okay, so the Nostradamus claim about King Charles might just be a myth. But what about the medieval prophecy of the popes? It's not the only ancient text out there that people think points directly to our time. There's another one, just as cryptic, that some people think is unfolding as we speak. And that, well, that is a whole other story.